Let me first start by telling you how UrbanClap got started. We started in 2014 in November, almost 5 years back. And we started with the simple vision of trying to organize the world of home services. Now the funny story is that when we started, one of the things that the three founders could not agree upon was the name of the company. In fact, we spent many weeks trying to figure out what should be the right name. And even back in 2014, I can tell you that all domain names were already taken away. So single word domain names, let's say bottle.com or tv.com or pen.com, were all gone. Raghav, who's sitting here, me and Varun were scratching our heads to come up with a two-word domain name. Put two words together and hopefully that domain is available. In fact, Raghav even discovered a site which allows you to upload a laundry list of words and then another laundry list of words, and it mixes and matches the two and figures out which domains are actually available. So 2-3 weeks we ended up doing all of this. At some point, the frustration was getting to me and I said, let's just pick any name that is out there. How does it matter? As Shakespeare famously said, what's in a name? A rose would be a rose with any other name. And we stumbled upon UrbanClap. UrbanClap sounded like a really nice, cute name. There was nothing wrong with the name. The domain was available for 170 rupees. The alternate domain that we were pursuing was available for 2 lakhs. So 2 lakhs, 170. Fairly simple, straightforward choice. So we picked UrbanClap as the domain name and the name of the company and got started. This is an interesting slide because it shows to you what the last 5 years have been like. As you can see, the first 2 years can best be described in hindsight as what most startups refer to as the drunken walk. You're trying to figure out product market fit. You're trying to do a whole bunch of things in the market, launch new categories, scale back, scale up, try different business models, try different operating models to eventually see what sticks. So the first 2 years were a bit all over the place, but the good thing was that we kept experimenting, we kept trying different things, and eventually we saw success in one category, the category of beauty services. Yasmin, who's sitting here, is one of our early beauticians. She joined us around that time when we launched beauty services with a fully in-house, full-stack business and operating model. That meant that we were controlling the training of the service professionals, it meant that we were controlling the raw materials, financing needs for them, etc., etc. And to the end users, we were going with a standardized, high-quality, fixed-price offering. Immediately we saw that offering the market started to adopt because the market was waiting and hungry for a branded service offering which was standardized. And we started to rapidly grow in the beauty service category through 2016 and 2017. We wasted no time, and in the next couple of years we started to launch the learnings of that model across a whole bunch of categories, from beauty to spa to appliance repair to electricians, plumbers, carpenters, cleaners, and more recently painting and pest control. In 2018, we also took the baby steps to start going international. So as I was mentioning, in the beauty service category, we started going deep with training, we started providing raw materials and tools to our professionals, we started picking the best professionals and standardizing the entire service experience. We started to expand the learnings of the beauty service category, which was a full stack, fully controlled marketplace, to other categories like home repairs and maintenance. We launched training programs. Today we have more than 25 training programs with more than 100 classrooms available across all our 10 categories. More than 100 full-time trainers are part of the company and they are imparting these trainings. And at any given point of time, we are training between 3,000 to 4,000 professionals every single month. These trainings can range from as short as 3 days to as long as 3 months. And these trainings are not just upfront trainings that we do when somebody joins the platform, they are also ongoing trainings that keep happening to bring the best of technologies and the best of training curriculum to our service partners so that they can constantly upgrade. For example, we are at the cusp of launching something called the Smart Roll-On Wax technology. It's a new innovation that we are launching in our beauty service category, and Yasmin and many other professionals have been fully trained and retrained on this through January. This is a technology that we partnered with Rika in Italy to bring this technology to India. Now all our trainings are also certified by NSDC and the Ministry of Skill. Our professionals are undergoing a certification program and they are certified by Government of India, and that certificate comes with the free insurance cover for them as well. Trust and safety became a very critical part of the marketplace over the last 3 to 4 years as we started expanding in different categories. We've done many things on the platform to ensure that this is a trusted and safe marketplace for both our service professionals and our customers. To start with, only about 2 to 3 out of 10 professionals who interview with UrbanClap get selected. So at the very starting point, the acceptance rate is only between 20 to 30%. All of them who get accepted go through a mandatory background verification process where their identity, temporary and permanent address as well as criminal record is checked by trusted government-approved third-party associations. Thereafter, they undergo a skill and personal interview, and then they become part of our training program. Then they get trained for anywhere from 1 week to 2 months, after which they go live in the marketplace. So there's a whole bunch of background verification work that happens even before the professional does the first job in the marketplace. And almost 80 to 90% of the professionals come through reference of existing good professionals. So that ensures a very strong gate at the entry itself. Now, what happens when, on an ongoing basis, what do we do for trust and safety of both professionals as well as customers? I don't know how many of you have noticed whenever you avail an UrbanClap job, that service professionals start by taking a selfie, what we call the identity check. And people often wonder, why is it that the professional has to take a selfie at the time of starting the job? The reason is that when they take a selfie, our back-end algorithm, and this is a partnership we've done with Microsoft to run a specialized identity check algorithm, judges with better than human eye precision if it is the same professional who's actually assigned who's gone to a job. Because trust and safety breaches often happen when the job is handed over to somebody else. And that allows us to ensure that the same verified professional who's assigned to your job is actually at your doorstep. We've now launched an SOS helpline for both our customers as well as our partners. This SOS helpline is in partnership with a specialized third party which is specialized in SOS and law enforcement response and quick response. And they are there in case any emergency happens. We also ensure no cross-gender services happen in categories like beauty and spa. And then there's an entire internal trust and safety team whenever there are escalations. So trust and safety is something that we realized over the last 5 years was a very important investment to make from a marketplace perspective. And we've taken, in my opinion, what would be industry gold standard measures on trust and safety. The most critical gold standard measure that we've taken is around rebooking of professionals. Again, a feature, if some of you are UrbanClap users might realize, UrbanClap is the only gig economy platform which allows you to book the same professional again. Because we recognize that you might have a certain degree of comfort, a certain degree of trustworthiness with one professional who's come and done a good job. Most cab operators don't allow you to book the same driver again and again, even if you like it and you have a certain degree of trustworthiness. Food delivery operators don't allow you to book the same delivery boy. Why? Because that actually requires a significant back-end change. If you don't allow customers to book the same professional, you can optimize for location, you can optimize for real-time assignment, and it's actually it makes much more business sense for you to randomly allocate. Because random allocation allows you to optimize the entire backend for business rules. But rebooking means I have to send the same person. I have to optimize for that person's availability, and it actually means letting go of some business in the short run. But we've done that to prioritize customer trust and safety. With this, we now started to launch internationally as well. In 2018, we launched in Dubai, and in 2019, we launched in Abu Dhabi, Sydney, and Singapore. So we are not just an India-based company anymore, we're now present in 4 countries. We have teams on the ground in these countries, we have our core categories launched in these countries, and we have every intention of doing very well and growing and winning in these countries. In the UAE, we have been present for the last 2 years, and I'm happy to say that we are already the largest home services platform, highly trusted. We're a meaningful brand name in UAE, many consumers use us, and our experience is quite phenomenal, and the team has done very well to work hard and get us to the point. We've recently launched in Australia and Singapore. We are hopeful to replicate the learnings and the success of India and UAE in these 2 geographies as well. And so when we took a step back now, we said, hey, we are not any longer the company that we once were, which was one category beauty in a couple of cities in one country. We are now 10 categories. We are not just urban beauty, we're also urban spa, we're also urban painting, we're also urban repairs, we're also urban cleaning, we're also urban grooming. We're in 4 countries. Is it time to imagine a very, very different mother brand which can subsume these different geographies and these different categories? And I present to you our new brand name, Urban Company. Urban Company will be our global brand name across all the countries that we currently operate in, or any and every country that we will operate in the future. It will be one single brand name across all geographies. Urban Company will stand for trustworthiness, reliability, sincerity, honesty, and standardization. And within it, over a period of time, we will also look to create sub-brands. Urban Beauty, leading at home and perhaps even outside your home, beauty brand, urban painting, urban repairs, urban spa, urban grooming, and urban cleaning. These sub-brands will continue to hold the core ethos of trustworthiness, reliability, safety, standardization, and sincerity of Urban Company, while trying to develop their own identity in the respective subcategories, because each of these categories are somewhat different. They have their own training needs, they have their own product procurement and raw material needs, they have their own mind space for the end consumer. This change is effective immediately. All of you are the first set of people who come to know of this change. With that, I would now like to call our 6 service professionals who are here. Our service professionals have always been the bedrock of Urban Company. They are the ones who serve all of you at home. Today we have 25,000 of them, but by 2025 we intend to have 1 million service professionals on the UrbanClap platform. We want them to have a very meaningful middle class wage. The average service professional on UrbanClap today earns between 35 to 40,000 rupees. If you interact with some of them, they will let you know that they earn a lot more. This is a multiple of what professionals will earn in the offline world, anywhere from 8 to 15, maximum 20,000. But they also have decency of life. They have social security, they have insurance, they have access to loans, they have bank accounts that have been opened for them. They get raw materials centrally procured at much cheaper prices. They are part of a formal ecosystem and a formal economy for the first time. Yes, we are a gig platform. Yes, we are a we are a company in the gig economy. And yes, they are not our employees. They are entrepreneurs in their own right. And they work for themselves. But at the same time, we recognize the responsibility that we have towards them. And they are the core tenants of the Urban Company, and they are the ones who will take the flag of the Urban Company forward into the future. So I would request all of them to come on stage and unveil the new brand name of UrbanClap, which is now Urban Company. Please. Yasmin, I would request you to come on stage. Yasmin has been with us for nearly 3 years. She is from Bhilwani, Haryana. Sahil is a painter on the platform. Yasmin is in the beauty category. Sahil is a painter. Please come. Avinash, who's our cleaning partner on the category. Shehzad, who's part of the men grooming category. Please, all of you, please come on stage. Neelu, who's part of the spa at home category. All of these professionals are the bedrock of UrbanClap. Like them, there are 25,000 others who work across 22 cities in 4 countries. I would invite Raghav, my co-founder, to also come on stage. Unfortunately, Varun had to travel today. Otherwise, he would have loved to be here as well. Please come. Tarun has been... This is the new uniform of Urban Company. The first person to get it is Yasmin. This is for you, Sahil. This is for Abhiraj. So I would request all of them together with Raghav to unveil the new brand name. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Raghav. Would you like to say